What's going on, everybody? My name's Dodge Gaming, as per usual, and today we are back with episode 2 of This Week in Gaming. Last week we covered the glory of the Horizon Zero Dawn and the much anticipated Switch launch, amongst other things, and today we cover some more of the most interesting or exciting, or downright weird, if I can find any, otherwise ignore that last one, gaming related news stories of the week. First up today is the brand new Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay.
Welcome back to the Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay series. In our first installments, we took a closer look at combat gameplay. Today, we're diving straight into the heart of Mass Effect Andromeda, exploration.
It's no secret that I'm excited for Mass Effect Andromeda. Christ, I'm pretty sure that it's somehow appeared in every scripted video that I've ever made. I was excited before, but after seeing this new gameplay amongst others, it's safe to say I'll be getting even less sun than I do currently. Lots of things were confirmed and a few were hinted at, and we have seen a lot of gameplay, but to save time I actually am planning on making a separate spotlight video covering the whole gameplay showcase, but this little nugget is too interesting to hold back till then. Dungeons.
Andromeda holds many mysteries, not the least of which is a vast network of ancient vaults. Simply figuring out how to access one of these vaults is a challenge in and of itself that can take you across an entire world.
Now, Mass Effect Andromeda wouldn't be the first BioWare game to feature dungeons, with Dragon Age coming to mind, especially Inquisition. There were more than a few, but this is a first for the Mass Effect series. As it's a futuristic game, of course, Mass Effect Andromeda's versions are instead called vaults. While we were all unawares at the time, I'm fairly sure that we saw a clip of one of these vaults very early on, back in the 4K tech gameplay released in September 2016.
Hi everyone, I'm Aaron Flynn, General Manager here at BioWare. I'm excited to show you a glimpse of how Mass Effect Andromeda is taking the power of Frostbite to new heights on the Sony PlayStation Neo platform.
While this is hearsay from my part, having seen some of the vaults in the brand new trailer, I'm convinced that the 3-minute video we got 6 months ago is from one of these vaults. That's neither here nor there though. What matters is the fact that these vaults are actually a thing. The commentator of the new video claims that all gameplay elements you learn will matter, from puzzle solving to platforming and maneuverability all the way down to combat.
Once inside, you'll need to rely on skills from every element of Andromeda gameplay, including exploration, environmental navigation, puzzle solving, and combat to get them back online, and then make it out alive.
Go!
And resolving the mystery of these vaults may just hold the key to survival in Andromeda.
This is unbelievable.
Along with this, a load of new screenshots has been provided by BioWare, and some of these stunning stills have been playing in the background. If this doesn't sound interesting to you, then I doubt you're a Mass Effect fan, and if you're not a Mass Effect fan, you have 3 weeks to go and play all of them. Go on. Go on. What are you waiting for? This video is far less important. No, seriously. Seriously, why are you still here? Next up is Destiny's last ever live event was announced.
Age, Guardian. An age of triumph and remembrance.
Those that still play Destiny will obviously know all about this event, at least as much as I do, after googling it relentlessly, and will be practically salivating at the idea of its promises. Ever since The Taken King launched in 2016, aside from the paid Rise of Iron DLC, Bungie have done a great job of throwing out free events, temporary or permanent, providing free multiplayer modes and maps, brand new armor and weapons, and celebration-specific events for things like Valentine's Day and Halloween and similar. They deserve credit for not forgetting about those still loyal and addicted to Destiny 1 in their pursuit of the Destiny 2 release date. This new update in particular will excite those newer to the game and the old guard that played the game in its long and painful vanilla phase. This is because the old raids from previous versions of the game, Vault of Glass, Crota's End and King's Fall, are all being raised to the current level cap, along with all the updated exclusive gear, meaning that those still in mourning over their Fatebringer or Vision of Confluence, or those that miss that full set of Crota armor, they will get that chance to acquire it all over again. Now, for a lot of people, the idea of stomaching Crota's End and King's Fall again might not be very attractive, but Vault of Glass? I'm not alone in saying, I promise you, that running through and completing that raid for the first time is one of the most memorable and special moments in my personal history of gaming. Vault of Glass provides a level of mystery, mechanic design, teamwork difficulty, and lore that Destiny is built upon. And in my humble opinion, Destiny still quite hasn't managed to surpass that since. It says a lot that the only raid that comes close to Vault of Glass is the newest raid released with Rise of Iron. It's one of my pinnacles of modern gaming, and I'm sure that there are more than a few ecstatic Destiny players out there in the wild. Bungie will be hosting live streams going through it every Wednesday, I believe, up until the release date of this new update, 28th of March. So tune in, see if you fancy it. And yeah, that about covers that one. Next up is the shiny new Shadow of War gameplay.
Shadow of War is an epic third-person open-world action RPG, and the sequel to the award-winning Shadow of Mordor.
I thought this inclusion was apt, considering I talked about the new trailer just a week ago. A brand new shiny gameplay showcase has been released, around 15 minutes long, that shows the way the revamped Nemesis system works. In case anyone was aware, the Nemesis system was introduced in Shadow of Mordor back in 2014, and I'm not joking when I say that it's revolutionary. And the only reason I can think of as to why other companies haven't started developing their own versions of this is that they must have made it their very own intellectual property. Essentially, it meant that you could take any soldier, any hostile NPC in the open world, and use them as your puppet. You could systematically promote them through the ranks of your enemies by removing the competition, using them to infect and replace generals. Each of the members of the game's hierarchy was procedurally generated to the best of my knowledge as well, and what's more, if one of the soldiers, just a normal guy in the battlefield, killed you, while you were dead, a little scene would play out that shows that very same soldier moving up the ranks, getting rewarded for taking you out. They would also pick up battle scars from their bout with you and get more powerful and have more armor as a side effect of besting you. It goes on beyond that, but I'm sure you can see how revolutionary it was. You could develop these proper real life feuds inside a video game where this guy just keeps killing you over and over again and just gets more and more powerful. Or you could just murder him and then that'd be the end of that. But in the new Shadow of War gameplay trailer, we see the new improved version of this system, at least in part. It appears that, in your bid to take Mordor back from Sauron, you're building up your own army, recruiting and using soldiers to the best of their abilities. These soldiers can either be loyal to you, or betray you completely, and we see an example of each in this video, with a disgruntled ex-employee, as it were, having betrayed your ideals and joined the other side.
Bled for you, and you left me to die. But I was reborn with the power of the Dark Lord.
He then proceeds to get an arrow through the face from one of your loyal subjects, playing out for a little cutscene.
The spy is also able to help clear the way by sniping enemies. In Shadow of Mordor, the Nemesis system created memorable stories of bloodshed and revenge. In Shadow of War, your followers can create entirely new stories of loyalty, betrayal, rivalry, and even friendship.
Gotcha.
It's very important to know here that these aren't spoilers, or scripted events, as each playthrough can be completely different in these regards, creating flexible, organic, and personal stories. The trailer shows much more than this, and it'll be linked in the description for you guys to go and watch. Overall, the new system looks really promising, combined with the new gameplay, and definitely seems to add to the actual gameplay and premise. So I have high hopes for Shadow of War, higher than I probably should, in all honesty. Next up and last on this list today is Microsoft claiming that the Scorpio is, quote, the first and only console to enable true 4K gaming. This is a big boast from Microsoft. While the PS4 Pro will technically play games at 4K, it's a form of upscaling known as checkerboard rendering. Essentially it means that 50% of the target resolution, 4K in this case, is rendered normally, and then the other 50% is created from something called a reconstruction filter, basically a form of resampling. It was first used in games starting around 2010 and essentially meant that games could achieve theoretical 4K but not native, while still running at acceptable frame rates. The PS4 Pro actually does this very well, using specially developed hardware to do all of this without sacrificing performance from the strain of resampling. That is about the most technical you'll ever hear me get in a video. Basically, most people agree that PS4 Pro does not show true 4K. Not that most people would probably notice. However, judging by Microsoft claims, and until debunked by someone in their company, the Scorpio will be outputting a native 4K display.
You get 4K gaming, true 4K resolution. I can't wait to see what developers actually do with all that horsepower in the box.
This is the only thing they can mean by this quote. This is massive, and would explain the theorized price of the Scorpio at £500 or dollars or around thereabouts, as 4K gaming, even on PC, is very expensive, with only the most premium hardware capable of playing games at 4K 60 frames per second. If the Scorpio can play at native 4K with steady frame rates of either 30 or 60, and Microsoft can pick up their game where exclusives are concerned, it could really be onto a winning formula with the Scorpio. Assuming you don't have to actually remortgage to afford one anyway. £500 really would be a reasonable price. I think the Xbox One was $500 when it was released, and that does not sound like it's going to match up to the Scorpio in any department. So I just have to wait and see, but it sounds promising. Anyway, that is it for this week in gaming, guys. There was a lot of news. There was a lot of news I could have done, like, for instance, the PS4 outsold the Xbox this month. There's only so much you can talk about where that's concerned, so I left some stuff out. I reserved some stuff for spotlight videos like Mass Effect Andromeda and stuff like that. I was going to go into more detail on that, but decided to keep the length down in this video. So that is going to be the end. If you did enjoy, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. You've all been awesome. My name's Dodge Gaming, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!
She looked at me and this is what she said. Oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked.